Okay, here's another one that's something else that I saw on X and it really annoyed me. I don't know if I can show it though. Can I show it or is it gonna get the stream demonetized? I don't even know. You know what? I'll show it. I'll show it. I will show it. So, this happened in Italy. But to be honest, of course, the fact that it happened in Italy annoys me profusely because I'm Italian, but it would be equally awful. So, we have a bunch of migrants. There is an elderly man, an elderly Italian man, and they're robbing him. They're robbing him. They're robbing him. His guy is in his 80s. And then he falls on the ground. I'm going to pause here just in case the fall is something that could get, and then they run away. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Because I'm just going to be straight with you. If it's elderly people or if it's children, life in prison. I don't even want to hear it. Life in prison. Because it's like it's a cow. Plus, their faces are on camera now, and I really hope that again. I think it happened in Italy, right? Yes, it did happen. I think elderly European, they say. So I don't know if it happened in Italy, but if it did happen in Italy, and Meloni doesn't do anything about this, then she needs to be changed because we need leaders that don't just tell us what we want to hear. We need leaders that do. We need action. We need action, right? And there was another situation that I shared. I told you the tweet that I shared. I just want to show very quickly. This one I know for a fact I cannot show on stream because, I mean, look, it even gets the content warning sensitive content. As you see, 5.9 million views. I am glad that this went viral because I want people to see this face. So I'm going to show you the face now. And I won't play it because it's 100% going to block the stream, so I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to tell you what happens. And if you want to double check, you can check my X account. As you see, I once again recommend life in prison, no parole for this scumbag. So, she's in a bus. If you recognize these, there are some symbols that show that the bus is a bus for children with disability. She beats the hell out of this little kid here because she just, I don't know, loses her patience. She usually hits him with the elbow. She F's him up, a little kid. This is the face. I want it public. Everyone needs to see this face. Life in prison. Life in prison. There we go, Alexandra. Sorry if it took me a while to read it. I have an autistic child. She's disgusting. You're absolutely right. That poor kid, she definitely needs to be in jail. I agree. And I am so glad that 6 million people saw her face. I'm so glad. I really am. And what's insane is that I clicked a few of the comments. I noticed a lot of people agreed with me. Some people kind of took it too far. Too far, not for this individual. For this individual, I get it. I get it. What you're saying, DEATH penalty, bro. If it's allowed by the law, I would support that. So that's not even too far from me. But what's too far from me is like some people take this and then they say that every black person is like that. And obviously that's not true. I don't agree with that. But I will tell you that every person that does this needs to be punished. And I don't care if the data and the statistics show that there is a higher percentage of individuals. And in fact, we don't even need to talk about race. We can talk about religion, for example. When was the last time that a Taoist flew a plane into a building? Okay. So we know there is a specific religion that has a higher number of individuals. It's data. It's real. And data is not racist. So the authorities need to act according to what data per capita shows. Of course, if someone is innocent, don't do anything to them because that will make us unjust. And I don't want to deal with that during Judgment Day. But whenever someone is evil, we need to use our data. It's also evil to have data, have per capita, and pretend it's not there because you don't want to be called racist or whatever the heck. No, that's also evil, and that's also going to be. So you need like that medium decency logics sector where you can operate accordingly. And people like this, we need to have like some real repercussions. It is what it is. Law and order. Law and order, my friends. Law and order. And so that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. So, yeah. And as I was saying, there were some people in the comments that were saying, I thought you were a Christian. What does that have to do? Yes, if anything, as Christians, we're called to defend the weak and the innocents. Have you ever heard of the Templars? Like, what are you even on about? She's beating up a child. The other guys, those migrants were attacking an elderly man. Being Christian means protecting the weak. And what are you on about? We hate evil. We hate sin. We don't hate the sinner. And of course, but we do hate sin. So people have this weird idea, oh, you're a Christian and you want this person to go to prison? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. What are we even talking about? What do you even think Christianity is at this point? Hippie 2.0? It really isn't, my friend. It really isn't. Friend, actually. Anything but. And it's an insane situation. Look at this cartoon. This is real, by the way. There are people like this. There are people like this. What flag is that in the on the top right? I don't actually know. But the reality is there are people like, for instance, you have people like, what's her name? Frogan. She belongs to this category, and so does Hassan Paika. And there are people that think this way. Now, I'm not even going to say it. DEATH. Because I refuse to even read this sentence. This is how far away from me this sentence is. I refuse even to read it. I said, God bless America. God bless America. But regardless, personally, if someone ever said, retroactively, guys, retroactively, is it Cuba flag? Okay, I see. I didn't know. If someone ever said DEATH to America, that should prevent them from entering this country ever. Put them on a list. Put them on a list. That's what I say. Block, enforce, make stricter borders. Because if someone says this, if they chant this, what are they going to bring to this country? Success? Wealth? Are they going to help the local population thrive? That's the thing. And so if they have position, someone says this, they have a position in Congress, they should lose it. It's really that simple. I don't believe that people who chant this should set foot in this country. And if they are already in this country, they should be deported. I don't even care if they're citizen. I really don't. I don't care if they're legal resident with a green card. If you say this, or stuff like 9/11 won't deserve, I can't wait for another 9/11 to happen, absolutely not. Deport. Deport them all. That's what I say. Deport them all. Because you want to protect the good people. You want to protect the good people. Also because when these people end up doing stuff, then they make the entire group look bad. So it's bad for the native population that just want to live in their country peacefully. This is the because Americans in America should be first. Before me, by the way. Before me. Even though I passed my citizenship test. Still, someone who was born here and has been here, their families is from here for generations, they will always be more American than me, and I accept that. They will always have priority over me, and I accept that. But the reality is that, yes, if someone says this and then they do something like that, it's not only bad for the people of this country, the good people of this country, but it's also bad for the people that happen to have the same race or the same beliefs and all that kind of stuff. And then governments should kick them out, because when a government punishes evil, the people get a sense of justice, a sense of peace. But if the government enables this kind of stuff, for instance, in the UK, that's what I'm talking about. So you have the Sikh guy with the dagger, the ceremonial dagger, and they have the exception because the UK wants to be tolerant to foreigners. But the local population, you can't even go out with a butter knife to defend yourself. You can't go out with a pepper spray. You get arrested. So the native population cannot carry anything, but these foreigners can carry whatever they carry a sword. Then one of them, as you would expect, uses this to commit murder. Rest in peace, Henry Novak, and his family as well. May they have peace. That happens. And what does Starmer say after that? We will not remove the exemption. Oh, but then the problem is the racists. You are generating racism. You are generating intolerance in the people because it's a reaction. It's a reaction. It would be like taking someone's hand, put it in boiling water, then I smack the thing and you tell me, oh, you're being violent. No, you caused it. You caused it. Why did you put my hand inside the boiling water? It's exactly what they did. And I imagine at this point they also do it because they want you to go nuts, so then they can try to vilify you and demonize the native people that had enough. Am I making sense? Screw digital ID. Obviously, that too. It was all about control. We know that. Never mind protect the kids. If you wanted to protect the kids, you would get rid of all the illegals. That would do 1,000 times more for protecting children than the freaking ID. Let me tell you that much. Yeah, everyone is telling me it's the Cuban flag. Yeah. I don't even think what I'm saying requires any level of, it's just normal. It's just normal behavior that you would expect. The government should protect its people. But here we are. Yeah, it's a screw two-tier justice. You're absolutely right, but they deny it. It's insane that they will deny it. They will say it's not happening while it's baked inside the laws and the way law is enforced. Should I say Sharia law is enforced in the United Caliphate? Because the reality is that they say it, depending on which group you belong to, we will have equal, what did they say? Different of treatment for equality of results. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Ban boiling water, my friends. Ban boiling water. I'm going to show you one last thing and then we move to one of the videos I wanted to check because something dropped and I got to review it. I got to check it. But before we do that, this is new bodycam footage showing police sympathizing with Henry Novak's stab over racism. Check this out. So, yeah.
This is really important. Okay. The time now is 11:55. Okay, it's important, mate. All right, at this time, I'm arresting you on suspicion of attempt murder. Okay? Do not have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned, something which you may later rely on in court. Anything you do so may be given evidence. Okay? The necessities are for a prompt and effective investigation. Okay? And for any further harm and injury. You've got your side of the story, mate. We don't know what's going on here. Okay? So we need to find out. Okay?
Yeah, the guy is literally offended. Bro, really? Well, I thought England was supportive. I thought England wasn't racist. That's what he's thinking. He's offended. He wasn't expecting it, guys. This face tells you everything you need to know about the current state of England. This guy is surprised that he's being arrested on suspicion of murder just because he stabbed someone in... Just because what?
Zulu Whiskey 69, Charlie. Starting to show what's going on here. I've gone 9 for attempt murder with the gentleman that I've run through. Have we got a van at all that I can get him down to Central?
Bro, if this was the US, this guy would be on the floor with his hands in cuffs, by the way.
Okay, and we'll get it all sorted, all right? I'm not saying you've done anything, mate, but we need to find out what's happened, okay?
I'm not saying you've done anything, mate. He just stabbed someone and he died.
I've been racist.
No, I know.
Racist.
Okay. I know, but we don't know what's going on, mate. He's...
He was racist and you say, I know? What do you mean, I know? You just said you don't know what's going on, so you don't know if the guy was racist. But regardless, even if it was, the answer from an officer should... Well, the answer from an officer should be, get on the fucking ground! That's what it should have been, like they do in America. Freaking love it when they say that, but whatever. What they... In the situations where it's right... Let me underline, because there are some cops that do stuff that shouldn't happen, but a lot of the times I watch cop cameras and people are being ridiculous. Anyways, the one thing I was saying, if someone tells you, but he was being racist, what you should say is, yeah, but that doesn't mean that you're allowed to stab him for that. That's what he should have said. In fact, he should have said, but did he attack you? Did he pull a weapon? So all he did was he was being racist? That's the reason why he should have said that? Because by saying that, and then this guy who was a clown, who's an idiot, would have said, well, yeah, probably thinking that he was racist. That's enough for him to justify my stabbing, right? And you could have got that on camera, perfect, for the lawyers, destroy the guy. Well, the guy was already destroyed, other than, again, they gave him, what, 35 years? They should have given, like, how many? No, that's Carmelo Anthony. I don't know how long they gave him. Did they give him life in prison? I hope they did. I really hope they did, because that's what this scum deserves. Any cop in the US did this, the whole city would be sued. Yeah, of course, because again, they let the guy die. Don't forget the context. Henry Novak said, I got stabbed, and the other officer said, I don't think you have, mate. And he died. All he needed to do was lift his shirt. The kid may have made it. We don't know. So in a country like this, then you're surprised that people are mad? That people are rioting in the streets? Goodness gracious, brother. I mean, seriously. That's insane. So I want to show you a really cool guy. I haven't got a clue who he is. No idea. But this was recommended to me on my X account. And I want to say, this guy is based. Check this out. Check the skill. Check the skill in 3, 2, 1. Wow, he moves like an anime character. I freaking love it. That is performance. Man, where is this place? I need to go. Yes, I put it back like a samurai. Let's go. Man, this guy. I swear. I wonder what his colleagues think. That's a pro, guys. That's a pro. Where do you think he's from? Do you think he's Japanese? I think this guy's... Some musicians say no matter how good you are, there is always a Japanese person who's better than you. Ooh, that's funny. That's funny. I mean, the Japanese are really talented, really. It's not even just the talent. It's the fact that they are very disciplined. And discipline really helps in life. It really does. It allows you to achieve things that otherwise you wouldn't easily achieve. Plus, they do have people that do this kind of stuff. Once I went to Kobe and I was... with friends, and then we went to this like special place for the Kobe gyu, so the Kobe beef. And brother, man, the presentation was half the show. The food was half the show, but the presentation was the other half. If I remember correctly, you studied in Japan. I was working in Japan for 4 years. Yeah, I lived there. Well, so I got a job, multiple jobs, so that I could stay in Japan, so that I could study for my Japanese, because it was my major. So after graduating at university, I moved to Japan. But it's not like I couldn't just live there, so I had to get a visa, and I got the visa through this company, and I worked there for 4 years. But it was great because all my colleagues were Japanese, and so I could practice my Japanese every day, plus with the customers, of course. Yeah, by the way, what's up with this situation? Why does this individual keep getting... What's up with this individual that keeps getting banned and then unbanned again? I don't get it. Why can they not do a nice, proper, permanent ban so that maybe this ilk, the likes of this, learn their lessons? I cannot stand Nina Lin. Nina, what did Tecton say about it? Didn't even bother covering and knew this stupid would skirt by consequence-free again. True. Love these permanent bans. I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you, because your life is better without knowing who Nina Lin is. Your life is absolutely better. 100%. Henry Cavill, Superman, was really good. Bro, Henry Cavill is based. I like that guy a lot. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.